Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy. Tonight, we are heading back to Florida to delve into the mind blowing and maddening Maddie Soto case. Stephen Stearns has been burning up the phone lines with his family, focusing on Jenn Soto and all the naughty things she and Maddie were doing to him. Jenn is Maddie's mother, and Maddie is the 13-year-old who tragically lost her life in February of 2024. Stearns is currently behind bars awaiting trial for ex abuse in the spring and for the incident that led to Maddie's passing this fall. Next on the agenda is Jenn Soto's trial. Do you all think that will ever happen? Yeah, but I digress. Alorah from Into the Weeds podcast will be joining us. So let's roll some credits while we wait for the rest of the power crew to arrive. Shout out to my replay crew and my dragonflies. I love you all.
Devil is drumming his old guitar again. Words rolling out into our fire. If heaven had wings, I would steal them and fly away with you for a while. Hearing the essence of gratitude, dreamy little smile on my lips. I miss my cue, but baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you.
Hearing the essence of gratitude. Wow, I'm huge. I didn't mean to make myself that big, but okay. I am so grateful to be here with you guys. And guess what? I have hold on. Let me make myself smaller. Hold on. It won't let me make myself smaller. There we go. I guess it won't let me do it because I'm the only one up on screen. So let me say that with me, I have a co-host, collab with Into the Weeds, Alorah Flowers. Hi, Alorah.
Hi, how are you doing today, Amy?
I'm good. Did you work today?
Yes, I did work today. I work in a nursery, so I've been playing with flowers all day.
Oh, so hence the name Alorah Flowers.
It's also a family name.
Oh, is it? It's
Yeah.
a cute name. It's one of my, I love Alorah. So I love Alorah Danning. So, but Alorah Flowers is even better.
Oh, that's from, what was it, Willow?
Yeah, I think it was Willow.
Yeah, I watched it as a little kid. Everyone always thought that I was named after her, but I think my parents just got my name off a baby name website or something silly like
really?
that.
I
Yeah.
thought so too, because when I first met you, I asked, but I don't think I got the answer. So I was like, maybe not, maybe.
Yeah,
But
no, I don't think it was much of an inspiration, but my parents do like that movie.
Yeah, your mom actually doesn't strike me as someone who would name somebody after a movie, but I don't know.
Oh, I could definitely see her doing that. I was almost named Ariel.
Oh, really? Well, then
Yeah.
I stand corrected then. But she doesn't strike me as that kind of person, but that's
funny enough,
awesome.
she's not even like a Disney adult or anything either. I think she just thought it was a pretty name.
I like Alorah better, but
Me too.
So have you heard the Stephen Stern phone calls yet?
Yes. I don't know if I've heard all of them. I've gotten them from a couple different places and I can only listen to them for so long, in little increments. But wow. Yeah. It's a lot.
No, I've only been listening bits and pieces. I never like to listen to everything in its entirety because I like to have some kind of spontaneity when I do it with the audience. I don't want to be like rehearsed, like, oh, here, this part's going to come. So I've got to seem outraged. You know what I mean? But
No, I get that.
But I have listened to bits and pieces of it. And it seems to me like I always said, when is he going to start to roll on Jenn? And I think he's rolling on Jenn, right?
Oh,
And
for sure.
Maddie, but I just knew. Do you think he'll ever like completely roll on her? And do you think she's ever? This is a two-parter. And do you think she's ever going to be taken to trial?
Well, I definitely think that that is his strategy. Whether or not it's going to end up working, I'm not entirely sure. I go back and forth on what I believe regarding her actual involvement, but even in the absolute best case scenario, I can't find it in my heart to like her very much. I can say that.
I can't either. I can't because in listening to some of these phone calls, I always believe like when liars lie, they anchor their lies in truth. So I
Mhm.
feel like I can pick out what's the truth. Like there was one part where he was saying that Jenn and Maddie would ogle him, and I actually can see Jenn doing
Yeah.
that. And he talks about she was very jealous and
Mhm.
um competitive with Maddie. I mean, I think that's truth right there.
Oh, absolutely. You can even tell by the way that she speaks about Madeline herself.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I don't like her. I can't make I like, and I think every person has something good in them, but right now I
Mhm.
just don't like this woman. I'm not there yet. I'm still in my anger
Yeah.
phase.
Yeah, there's no reason why she should have been sending her literal child up to bed with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in my mind that can erase that, no matter what.
Yeah, it makes me really sick to my stomach. Um,
Me as well.
we have some people in chat tonight. I see Darlene. Hi, Darlene. And I don't know if that's you into the weeds or if that's your mom into the weeds, but I see into the weeds. And
That's my mom.
okay, hi, Amber. And then I see Lindy and I see Mally. Hi, guys. It's good to see everybody, and it's good to see everyone out there in the outer regions. Hi, everyone. Today we're coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So, however you show us love on that platform, if you give us the hearts, the stars, the coffee, whatever it is, if you could just do that for us, just start the algorithm dance party that we like to do, and just, warm up your fingers and leave some DNA on the hearts and thumbs up button. And it just helps us go out into the algorithm. It's free and it's really, really appreciated. And if you really like us, there's other ways you can support us. We have our Cashapp going across the screen, and we also have a Dragonfly membership over on our YouTube channel, and I'll probably tell you a little bit about that later. So, but let's get into this. And also, Alorah is from Into the Weeds podcast, so we will be sure to link their channel. Be sure to check them out. It's a true crime channel. Do you talk about paranormal, right?
Yeah, my mom's really into the paranormal, and I mean, I guess I am too, but we just have gotten stuck in a couple different topics recently, so we haven't been able to delve into it as much as we'd probably like to.
Yeah, because you were on my channel and we talked about your paranormal
Yes.
experiences. Yes. Okay. So yeah, and they cover a lot of the Gypsy Rose. You probably all know them from the Gypsy Rose. They are the ones that got us those FOIA documents. And if you want to donate to them over in and I will put this down in the show notes as well.
Oh,
You can
thank you.
donate because us small creators, it costs money to get these things for you, and any little bit helps. So we'll do that. And everything that we watch tonight will go over in the YouTube show notes. This is for fair play use. We will stop and start things, talk over it, but we cite our sources. And if you ever want to go and watch it in its entirety, that's where you go. So let me get my screen together. Oh, and I wanted to ask you, how do you want to do this? I have where we can just go right into the phone calls, or we could watch a news report that kind of details the phone calls, and then we can go into the phone calls. How do you want to do it?
Go ahead and play the news report about it. Maybe that can give some of the viewers a little bit of context, knowing what they're getting into.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is the jailhouse calls that were released as reported by Fox News. Oops.
So I don't know what was going on there.
New details tonight surrounding the jail calls between Stephen Stearns and his parents. Stearns is talking about the night Maddie Soto died. Stearns is accused of killing the 13-year-old. On the phone, he claims it was all an accident.
Fox 35's Kelsey Cairns listened to all the new audio and shares how Stearns describes the relationship.
We listened to all 34 jailhouse calls between Stephen Stearns and his parents. What is revealed in those calls is Stearns' alleged account of Maddie's death, his relationship with Maddie, and his own parents.
I'm sorry, did she say 34 or 4?
34, like his age, or
there were 34 phone calls or four phone calls? Because I think I only have 4.
I think I missed that, but I think it's probably closer to 34 because I've heard a bunch of like random little bits of things.
You know, you're right, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tonight. But
they're all very short too.
Yeah, some of them are very short. And I have the one separated, that's the one where he talks about Maddie and Jenn ogling him, and you know, what did she expect, and you know, he's just innocent Stephen. So
yeah, also whenever they release some of the phone calls, some of them they didn't go through, so you can hear him like go through like and getting kind of frustrated as he like clicks on all of the buttons and stuff, and they inevitably don't even pick up. And they did release those calls as well, and there's nothing of substance in it, so I think that could also contribute to the high number of calls.
Okay, gotcha. See, I'm so glad you wanted to do this with me, because I'm just like dipping my toe into this case now. But I know in May his first trial is happening, and then I think September the big one. So I really want to get up to snuff and speed with this case. So thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I try to talk to my mom about the case, but it's kind of hard for her, and it's a little hard for me as well. So I respect her not wanting to hear about it, but yeah, it's a rough one.
Well, we're starting a new series where we're doing Florida Man Fridays, but it's like with a W-O in front of it, but it's Florida Man Fridays. And so this is the perfect case to start covering. So if you ever want to join me, if you ever want to join me on anything, you can, but that's what this case will start. We're going to move it to Fridays, but tomorrow I have I'm doing Sarah Boone, which is a Florida woman. So
somehow I didn't realize that her case was from Florida. I've seen bits and pieces of her stuff, but I didn't realize that was a Florida case.
Yeah, she lived like near Orlando. So yeah, she's in the Florida prison system for life now.
Oh, well, I'm from Florida. Well, I live in Missouri at the moment, but unfortunately I've had some experiences in this exact police station as this case. So I've been in this area a lot.
Which police station is this case in Florida?
I believe it's the Osceola or Kissimmee police station. I don't remember what it's officially called, but it's downtown Kissimmee, and it's
okay.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. So
because I feel like this will be in the same courthouse as Sarah's then, if it's Orange County, right? It feels like. So is it Kissimmee Orange County or no?
Okay, so Kissimmee, I think maybe part of it's in Orange County, and I know that Madeline's school is in Orange County, but she's technically in Osceola County, and I think it's Osceola County that's going to be trying Stephen. I could be wrong, but that's what I think I remember.
Yeah. Okay.
They're very close though. Like within a 20 to 40 minute drive.
I thought so, because I lived in the 90s when I was because I'm an ex-social worker, but I was burnt out from it. Like it made me so tired and I would get burnt out from it. And I think that's where I got my fibromyalgia from. But
Oh,
I would
wow.
always take these breaks, and I moved to Florida, and I decided I was going to be a teacher, and I tried to teach the 3rd grade, and I lived in Orlando. But I went into the inner city, and there's a reason why teachers get teaching degrees.
Mhm.
For a reason. It was the hardest job. I made it a semester and I had to leave. But that's why I thought it was, because I remember I thought Kissimmee was right by Orlando. So.
Yeah, they're really close, to the point where actually I believe the entrance to Disney is actually technically in Kissimmee rather than in Orlando. So it's like that close of a proximity. But I'm pretty sure it falls in the Osceola County side of things.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
I'm sure. I think. don't quote
He
me.
hasn't tried to move counties or move anything, so it's definitely going to be here.
Yeah, and I believe, as I said, Hunters Creek Middle School, that is in Orange County. So I think initially the Orange County was investigating, but when they realized that she had never actually made it to her school that day and that she had gone missing from her house, that's when Osceola took over. But you know, I went to high school in well, my first year of high school, I went to something in Osceola County, but I had several friends that had actually gone to Hunters Creek Middle School, so that's how close that was.
Okay. All right.
Reaction to the possibility of the death penalty in their son's murder case.
That's another thing. Do you think he's going to get the death penalty? Sorry, I don't mean to keep stopping this, but I just
No, you're good.
About that?
No, Florida is no joke. They take things very seriously. And I don't know the particular prosecutor in that county, but there are certain counties that you do not want to get in trouble because they will like I think it's like maybe Pensacola that has that Grady Judd dude. Maybe it's not Pensacola, but he goes hard on people.
Oh yeah, he's the one that shows the pictures and talks about the
yeah.
bus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the place that I was most recently living in when I was in Florida, it was in Pasco County, which is just a little bit north, I believe, of Tampa. But anyway, the guy that was our sheriff at the time, or prosecutor, or whoever it was, he was like really intense, and he came up with like all these new ways to like catch criminals, and we even had live PD in our city. So Florida, it gets wild.
Well, I'm in Citrus. I'm in Florida. I'm in Citrus County, and I know nothing about it. The only thing I know about this police around here is that my identity has been stolen through Medicare, and they don't care. They don't care. They're doing nothing about it. They don't care. That's all I know.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah. I can't even fathom that. Where I was living, everyone was wanting to get on people.
Yeah, they don't care. And Medicare doesn't care. I mean, I don't know how to handle it. It's just kind of been going on, and so that's all I know about Citrus County. But I think Citrus is maybe a smaller, more rural county. I don't know that for sure, but because I'm pretty new here. But yeah, we're having a conversation. Sorry, only me, baby. We're going to get back into it. But we're talking about Florida and the Florida penal system. And I do agree with you that I would not want to get caught doing anything major in Florida because, wow, it seems like a miserable system to be in.
And they name and shame you too. Like I'm a part of I like a Facebook page called Pasco County Arrests or something like that. And then they just post the mugshots of like everyone all the time. And
well,
that's
why that's why so many cases, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's why so many cases come out of Florida. Like that's why it's Florida man state, because everything is viewable in Florida. They release everything. There's no, anybody, you can get anything in Florida unless it's in a courtroom and the judge, closes it and seals it. Then you can't get it. But anything
which
else
is rare.
Yeah. So yeah.
Press 0 to make a prepaid collect call.
One day after seeing Stephen Stearns in court for the first time, we are hearing his account of what allegedly happened leading up to Maddie Soto's death in Jailhouse Calls.
You know, Stephen, I could never have imagined that we would all be in this situation.
Made to his parents about 3 months after the 13-year-old was killed.
Well, I mean, things kind of went sideways, whatever happened with, so you knew that was going to go down a rat hole.
Yeah, well, I never in a million years that she would not be around anymore.
In one of the calls, Stearns talks about the night before Maddie was reported missing.
She was acting kind of weird before she went to sleep, so I don't know what was going on there.
In another call, he talks about finding Maddie's body.
I wish I'd run downstairs and shaken her awake and called 911 and all that. You know, when someone's that ice cold and just gone.
She was in a different part of the house?
Yeah.
She wasn't with you?
Well, she had gone to be with me earlier in the night.
His mother weighing in, saying she doesn't think Stearns killed Maddie. She hints that Stearns' relationship with the teen was causing strain in his then romantic relationship with Maddie's mother.
There's jealousy on the other side, too. I mean, if she told you, I hope you don't leave me for my daughter, that tells me that she was thinking about that for a while.
Maddie's mother is not facing any charges in this case. When news broke about the possibility of the death penalty for Stearns,
We got the news then that they filed this morning to seek the death penalty.
then a brief pause.
How are you guys holding up?
Well, we're just waiting for this to play out.
Stearns' parents confront their son about his demeanor.
Our understanding and impression is that you didn't do this, so why do you feel at peace and serenity with it?
In the prospect of spending the rest of my natural life in a very miserable place before I eventually die alone with no one to care about me or give a shit that I passed on.
There is a possibility that Stearns' trial could be closed to the media after his attorneys appeared before a judge on Thursday, essentially saying that the mass media attention in this case may be tainting the jury pool.
You know, everything that I've heard with that's not going to be granted, I don't think.
The privacy or like the not publicizing things.
Yeah.
I don't believe it will either.
Yeah. Bubbles says even his voice skeeves me out, and I was thinking that same thing. I was thinking I can't even stand. We're gonna have to sit here and listen to that voice.
Yeah, no, it's quite bothersome.
Okay, so let's go into the phone calls. So for those that are just joining us, we're going to listen to these phone calls, some of the phone calls that Stephen has been laying down. He's been talking to his mom. Let's listen to this one, the most shocking one first. And we will link the channels that we are getting these phone calls from. This is allegedly speculating, and we will put the link down in the YouTube show notes.
Also, something I noticed in that video is it is Osceola County, it seems.
Yeah, Osceola. That's a word that I have a hard time saying too. Osceola.
Oh yeah.
I can't look at the spelling. I just have to think Osceola.
I can't remember if it was a native tribe or if it was the chief of a tribe. I think it was the chief Osceola. Yeah, that's what it was.
Definitely Native American. And I'm from Michigan, so I can say a lot of native words, but if I don't look at the spelling, then I'm fine. Did they rule on that today? Bubbles thinks they ruled on it today.
I didn't see that. It's possible.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. Let us know if you find out. Okay, so let us start. I think this is the shocking one, and this is one of the phone calls to his mother.
The time is 8:51.
So Chris Stearns is upset that Stephen didn't tell him the story. Oh, I'm sorry, his father. So he could come up with a better one, is the title.
If you believe that you are the victim of sexual or physical abuse, press star 9021 after this message. Press 1 to place a. Please enter your PIN number.
All right. Does it really say that if you believe you are the victim? Does it really say all that when you call?
Well, I don't think I've ever heard that on the one in Missouri, but I believe it. Yeah. I don't know what I was trying to say with that. I lost my point.
But yeah, that's interesting. Let me see if I put an overlay over, if it adds any more. I had an overlay that moved, but I guess I don't right now.
You see, the fact that she even made that Woody Allen comment, and the fact that, her and Stefan would not have been talking over the phone about, because in the first clip that you showed, he said something along the lines of how Jenn was jealous, and he started kind of comparing it to the situation without actually saying Woody Allen. So that means that he obviously has had that conversation with Jenn many times before for him to be able to bring that up and that be the same exact thing that she was talking about to the police.
Yeah, I know. They just like recite that story like the back of their hand, so it must have been a common conversation.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that anyone would even compare their situation to Woody Allen is just showing her character, in my personal opinion. She was involved in the actual crime, but she knew something was going on, and she didn't do her due diligence, in my personal opinion.
I agree with you. But
Just infuriating.
This mother's infuriating to me. I don't like to judge people because, I don't know what kind of mother she had. And, people think mothering is instinctual, and it's not always, but geez, man, she's a horrible mother. Oh.
Well, it is worth noting, though, that I believe her and Chris Stearns have both kind of retracted like a little bit of their support for their son. Like, they still talk to him, but it seems like she accepts that he's guilty. And
okay.
It seems like, I believe they did an interview back in like September, which is a few months after these phone calls took place. It was on like a YouTube channel. I don't remember which YouTube channel, but they basically kind of admitted that he's in the wrong. So a lot of the stuff that's going to be said in this phone call might not be their current opinions, but it still infuriates me because it's like, clearly he did something wrong and you're still babying the heck out of him. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Annie Oakley says the same attorney, Mr. J, will be prosecuting for Stefan Stearns. So that's what confuses me, because Mr. J was in the Sarah Boone case, and I thought Sarah Boone was in Orange County. So that's why I'm a little confused.
Maybe he has jurisdiction in both counties. I'm not sure.
He must. But I didn't know prosecutors did that. But the same attorney, Mr. J, will be the yeah, I didn't know they did that, but that's awesome because Mr. J was really good. He didn't let a thing slide. So I agree, so many bizarre things with her. I completely agree. Infuriating. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, he was the lead prosecution for Sarah Boone. So yeah. Good. Did you see Sarah Boone's case?
I saw a little bit of the coverage. She was the suitcase lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen her reaction faces. Those are quite interesting.
Yeah, she's an interesting human being.
After the tone, please say United States of America.
United States of America.
Imagine having to say that every time you made a phone call.
After the tone, please say again. United States of America.
It almost feels like they're punking you, right? Like, say it again. I didn't hear you.
And especially since it seems like he can only talk for like 15-minute intervals. So that means he has to do this like every like 30 minutes or so. No wonder he sounds so annoyed.
United States of America.
I hate
look at that dude.
I hate when I have to call and do that with automated things. By the end of it, I'm screaming it. Yes! Two!
Yeah, and I think he's trying to be mindful that he doesn't sound too angry because he knows that anything can be released in Florida, but you can tell there's a little bit of irritation there.
I'd be like, United States of America.
Yeah, but that would do that to anybody,
You
not
have
just
one old message. To listen to your messages, please return to the main menu. Press 0 to make a for calls within the United States. Your account balance is $22.75. The cost of this call will be 21 cents for the first minute and 21 cents for each additional minute, excluding taxes and other applicable fees. The time limit is 15 minutes.
Beep. What I don't understand is who is this supposed to be right here on the screen? When I saw this, I had to go. I had to go
That's
and look.
Stefan.
This is Stefan?
Yeah, that's him. Like a few years ago, I actually almost commented on it earlier. I'm like, looking at him is making me sick. But yeah, it's him when he was maybe like early 20s, maybe a teenager.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
yeah, you kind of see it when you look in the eyes.
Yeah, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
How old was he when he met Jenn? Did he look like that?
They had been together for what, 8 years, 5 years.
And how old is he now?
He's 30 something. I want to say late 30s. No, maybe he's in his 40s. Maybe I should Google it.
Is that
I
how
don't know
old
if it's gonna take me out of the StreamYard if I do that though.
I'll Google it. I'll start this back up and I'll Google it.
Okay, sounds good.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stefan Stern.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking.
Hey,
Hi.
Hey,
Yes.
okay. Anyway, yeah, just getting back to what I was saying, just faith and trust, and, message received.
I guess if there's one thing that we wish for is that you had come to us sooner. That you had come to us and let us know what was going on.
Well, unfortunately, I was suffering from a bit of cowardice.
Yeah, but
you're still suffering from that, my friend. He's 37, so he would have been like, if he was in his late 20s in that picture, that's what he would have looked like.
Well, she certainly has something different than she started out with, if that is true.
For sure. Because I was just wondering, did Maddie, maybe Maddie fell in love with him when he looked like that? Or, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think I feel so complicated talking about it just because, Maddie, didn't deserve it no matter what she thought at any point in time.
Oh, no.
But,
not
that I thought that you
get
thought.
Crushes on people. They do.
Yeah.
And it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's normal. It's how they learn to manage their emotions and they grow. And yeah.
Yeah, it's normal to have a crush on an authority figure. A lot of girls that age and my age and all sorts of ages like older men. A lot of times they like attention, especially if he's the man of the house, and I can totally understand how that might have happened, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry, Bubbles, did you say they didn't deny that motion? Or they denied the motion? Or they haven't ruled on it yet? I don't quite understand. Sorry. I mean, it's probably pretty questionable if she even did have a crush on him, because most 13-year-olds would probably think Stefan was just a nerd or a geek. But I don't know. He really liked to appeal to younger people by the younger things that he did. So I don't know.
She also said to her counselors or her teachers that, she thought he was a little weird. And I definitely don't think that would have been the case towards the end of her life, personally.
Yeah.
Maybe it had been a factor at some point, I don't think it was then. But regardless of any thoughts or feelings she ever had, he is the scum of the earth.
Oh, motion was denied. Okay, the motion was denied.
The motion to suppress or
Yeah.
to not
she's
have it in the
using
media.
that talk to text.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Hindsight's always 20/20, and can't do anything about it now. But you know, this thing,
It's bigger because of it.
it's a bigger problem because of that. And again, not sure what would be any. I'm sure there would be some things different if you had chosen that path, because there's obviously nothing we could have done without. Well, there's nothing we could have done. I mean, there was only one choice, but you know, we could have talked our way through this. I mean, the phone call that you made to me earlier in the afternoon, if you had at least shared that, you know, we could have talked our way through that and figured out a much better solution than whatever whatever you guys came up with, because none of that was believable. And I was thinking earlier today or yesterday that somehow I feel that you were forced into this, and I don't know, and that's just my speculation, that you were compromised and you were forced to participate in this, and you know, as soon as you gotten away from the rest of them, you should have called me, and we could have discussed this, and the outcome would have been a lot different than what it is right now. But
I don't want to get your hopes up, and as I said, don't get carried away with any conspiracy theories, but in a way I was compromised, and you know, when all that stuff was happening, I was not in my right mind anymore.
Yeah. Well,
what does he mean he was compromised?
Lord, if I knew. I don't know. Oh my goodness.
Compromised.
I understand that, and that's when you probably should have just called me and said, hey.
Why don't they say, what does that mean, compromised?
Well, you know, I think that he's probably the kind of guy that just talks in like circles and long sentences. And I think they're just so used to him just talking his way around everything that they just don't even bother, because they know it's just going to lead into more circles and non-answers.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of that, they're not really supposed to talk about the case too much over the phone. So if he kind of elaborated on that,
yeah,
I feel like that would kind of, you know, put his case in danger, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I've got a bit of a situation here, and
it would have been a rational thing to do, but at that point I was no longer capable of rational actions or thoughts.
Yep, I understand. Yep.
I'm capable of it. I had no control over my faculties anymore. It's like the motor was running, but there was a screaming chimpanzee behind the wheel.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
A screaming chimpanzee behind the wheel? I don't know.
And at that point, why was he a screaming chimpanzee? What made him? Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that. I don't understand.
If you understand, lady, explain it to us. How do you understand? It makes no sense. It's nonsensical.
Lack of emotion.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it wasn't like she was catatonic. She was talking in a normal voice, you know.
What?
The only thing that showed any emotion at all was jiggling her leg, but she did that anyway. So
yeah,
yeah, she was anxious because she was lying to her teeth. That's okay.
Don't get your hopes up for any conspiracy theories or vast conspiracies.
Are they talking about Jenn here?
I think so. But, you know, something I was just thinking of, y'all, this is the reason why you don't baby your children that hard and not let them take any sort of accountability their whole lives.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that can happen. And like, this is mama's boy to an extreme. And I'd like to think that Deb Stearns has some good in her heart and she's just trying to love her kid. But you can tell that at least at this point in time, she was letting him get away with way too much.
Oh, yeah. Because didn't he steal from his family, too?
Oh, absolutely. And then they were just funding his lifestyle. I mean, he barely worked. He worked at Disney, like, but I don't know.
Only because he thought it would be fun. And then when it wasn't, he quit.
But also access to children was a thought that I had. And it makes you wonder how many people that work at Disney might have ulterior motives. God forbid. You don't have to be convicted of something for you to have something in your brain. And just
I know. I was
me.
watching this news story of, because I was trying to find Florida man cases, and this news story popped up where this woman was having how do I even say it? Well, I'm sure this is going to be demonetized. My Stephen Stern stuff always gets demonetized, but she was having encounters of a naughty kind with canines, and
oh, good Lord,
put it up on Instagram, and one of her neighbors saw it or something and turned it into the police. And she was like, yeah, I got $500. And like, it was just completely normal to her. And I
think I know what you're talking about. Was it the girl who did it in front of a church? And there was like a video of her like in a church parking lot or something like that too?
I don't know. I decided I didn't save it because I decided I can't. I have a hard time with people that abuse the innocent. And
absolutely.
It's like when you abuse an animal, it's like abusing a child or an elderly person. So
absolutely.
No, I don't think it was a church thing. And she was like a very young, attractive girl. I don't know.
It's possible that was a different situation. Unfortunately, stuff like this comes up. I mean, I remember back in the early 2000s, or maybe it was the 2010s, when I was like a kid, there was like this girl named Whitney, Wisconsin, and she did something similar, and like she was just kind of like a meme on the internet. But looking back on that, I was like, why were us kids like watching this? That was like very concerning.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's like just kind of like a rite of passage for people with young kids. Like, ooh, you shouldn't be watching stuff like that. So of course you're gonna, watch it. So
yeah, I mean, it didn't, for anyone watching this, it didn't show anything that I saw. It was just some chick talking about it. But anyway.
It's just, that's so disgusting to me.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
Why did I even bring up? I've gone so far off the left side. Why did I even say that? What was the point I was making?
Did you say she was in Florida or?
Yeah, but there was more of a reason. Does anyone remember? I was talking about Florida cases, but there was a reason before that.
I'm really bad at trailing off with my thoughts too, so I'm
so bad at it. And then I had a brain bleed like 4 years ago, and so I completely forget now. I'll be talking, and in the middle of it, I forget what I wanted to say. But anyway, I forgot why I brought that up, and I feel like I should wrap it up with a reason. But sorry, guys, it was a Florida case. It'll come to me, maybe. I don't know.
Someone just as sadistic as Stephen, or maybe not as, but I don't know. It's a close call.
Yeah.
Close call.
I mean, when you abuse animals, to me, it's just like abusing kids.
I agree.
Understand that. Anything I did was not done while being within my rational mind. I had snapped at that point. And I wish I had done the correct thing to begin with. I wish I had run downstairs and shaken her awake and called 911 and all that. And
I wish you had too. I wish you had too. Maybe she could have been saved, but
she was beyond that.
Okay.
You know, when someone's that ice cold and just gone.
She was in a different part of the house?
Yeah.
She wasn't with you?
Well, she had gone to be with me earlier in the night, but I'd left her alone for quite a while I was sort of just walking around and, you know, haunting around the house like I do.
And you didn't hear whatever violence was
sometimes
happening
you go,
upstairs, allegedly?
I know, like
You were just
you didn't
walking
hear
around?
anything, and it's a small. It wasn't it just a condo? Was it even a house?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a condo. But regardless, it would have been him and it would have been several other people in the home. And if it was this crazy violent outburst of a thing, I feel like there would be more people. And then also, like, I'm sure that the houses were really close together. Um, you can hear things when your neighbor screams, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I just can't
Yeah.
see Jenn. I could be wrong, but I can't see Jenn doing something on her own and it not being some sort of violent outburst or fight that kind of ended up transpiring into that. I can't see her. I mean, I don't know. I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that.
go out for walks at night, or I'll just sit on the couch and just fiddle around on my phone, or just, you know, I don't sleep well at night, especially when I've got to be up early and do something the next day.
Yeah.
And that was the case. So every time I realized anything was wrong, it was
She was in a different part of the house when you found that out?
She was still upstairs.
Oh, she was upstairs. Okay.
Yeah, I left her alone there.
Oh, okay.
I had gone downstairs for a while, and by the time I realized anything was wrong, it was just far too late. You know,
It sounds like he's lying. It sounds like he's making up the lie as he's going. Doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like he's making up a lie.
I was just, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's my personal opinion that Jenn might have known what had happened before the police told her. And who knows in her involvement in things that happened prior to this evening, but I really think that he acted alone.
Yeah, I think she might have known about the ex abuse, but I don't think she helped him unalive her daughter. Yeah.
I don't believe that she assisted him, but I mean, okay, so I understand that certain medications can absolutely dull emotions. And so a lot of her reactions to things could have been in part due to the medication. But I just can't fathom just the way that she reacted to it. I feel like she just had to have known about something happening and Maddie not being safe. Whether or not, I don't know. I can't see her finding out that her daughter had passed away and then just being so neutral. And the fact that she also knew that she was being assaulted. Like she was being shown pictures and she wanted to see the pictures. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Jenn is a mystery to me. I don't know. I don't know how she. Yeah, the drugs can make you be a different person. I would be very curious to see Jenn not on drugs.
Well, unfortunately, regardless of her involvement or not, this situation is so tragic that any sort of, mental health issues that she had have got to be exacerbated to the absolute extent at the moment. And I seriously doubt that she would ever be able to get off medication. It's a very hard thing to do. And, but yeah, I do wish that we could see it, but I don't know.
If she is ever going to move forward, I would think she eventually will have to get off of medication, but maybe that's going to be Jenn's life for the rest. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Jenn's doing these days. I don't know where she's living, how she's living.
Yeah. I don't want to speak for her,
Yeah.
but it definitely seems like she was kind of already in that spot. She had talked to the police in one of the interviews, and she had said that her and Stefan had not been together intimately in about a year or so.
Wow.
Um, and she said it was because of her medications. And she said that she basically said that they made it to where she, couldn't feel any pleasure and she didn't want to, be intimate with anybody, but that they just had agreed that that was okay. And she said that her being on her meds was of her utmost importance. That was her top priority, and that she couldn't go without them, and that she would sacrifice, wanting to be intimate with somebody because of that. Um, so to me, that says that she probably wasn't planning on getting off of them, before this happened. And now that this has happened, I'm sure that it'll be a lifelong mental health struggle. And then she was
Yeah.
also in the psychiatric unit for a while. I don't know if she's still in there, but
Those are mental health meds, and mental health meds often do have sexual dysfunctions to them. But isn't she on pain? Wasn't she on those kind of substances too?
I'm not sure. I just know that she was on some mental health medications, which I've had my own issues with them for sure.
Oh yeah.
I personally, I can be on them for a few months, but the side effects in various ways are just too much for me. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I have a adverse reaction to medications though very easily. My body just doesn't. I took one of those tests. They have those tests out now where you can see what type of medications your body doesn't react well to, and a lot of psych meds I don't react well to, and I don't react well to things that are supposed to put you to sleep. They make me wired, and then things that are supposed to wire you put me to sleep. Like cold medication's a nightmare for me. I can't do cold meds.
Ooh, yikes. Yeah. The most recent time that I tried to take some sort of a medication, I don't remember what it was. It wasn't Wellbutrin. It was something, but it was something in that kind of realm of like SSRI or something like that. But I started seeing like shadows out of the corner of my eye, and I only took it once, and I felt like there was like a hole in my chest, and I literally like had to crawl underneath something like at work, and I stayed there for like half an hour until my friend pulled me out, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just try and go cold turkey for a little bit.
Well, and then there's the medications, mental health medications you can't just stop taking because they'll
Yeah.
send you into withdrawals, and that's horrible too.
Oh, absolutely. Now, for that case, I'd only taken it one time, so I was fine. But yeah, no, especially Jenn being having built such a dependence on something like that. Yeah, weaning yourself off of something like that is necessary, because you could have ideations and stuff if you just go cold turkey on that.
But what kind of medications is it too? Is it like I always just assumed it was a medication that she was abusing. So it would have to be a mental health medication that was worth abusing if she was abusing. But
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
if she was abusing it. I think that she was just on maybe some SSRIs, maybe like an antipsychotic. I'm not I don't want to speculate too much, but I feel like that's just what I remember. But it just makes you feel a variety of different ways, and I don't want to try and, make up my mind and say exactly how she was feeling, but it's just like, medication or not, the fact that you wanted to see those photos just tells me a lot about your character.
Is there anything out there that tells us what medications she was on? Because being an ex-social worker, I've worked with the DSMR, and I would be very curious to see what she was taking.
I'd say she probably, I think she describes a little bit of it in one of her police interviews. I could be wrong. But there's all sorts of information out there. It's just sifting through it all.
Yeah, I'll have to look for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Been gone for a while.
Okay.
Just seeing her pale face and blue lips and how ice cold she was, and it's crazy.
That's going to stay with you. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I remember seeing my brother when he had passed away, and that's the last thing I remember seeing of him. And
You know,
it's just,
Stefan kind of
you can tell.
sounds like somebody who's trying to pretend like they feel something. Like uh he doesn't sound very emotionally connected. Like if I would have actually come across that scene, or even if I would have done what he had been accused of, you would have more emotion in your voice in reference to it. But it
Yeah.
sounds like he's just trying to put on an act and sound like, try to say the right things almost.
Yeah, it's like a fake cry too that's he's trying to push out. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Chris Watts when he tries to put in emotion into his voice. It's like
Yeah.
very forced, and you can tell.
Yes.
Yes, you can. My dad, yeah.
It's just, when they're gone, really, really, truly gone, there's nothing you can do. There's no coming back.
yeah,
No, there isn't.
How profound.
She was past the point of no return.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, given the crazies of the grandmom and already starting to call her a Gordo, she would have been the next one on the list for gastric bypass, but I just think, maybe God just delivered her out of a place that was going to become really bad for her.
I mean, I always knew that life was going to be hard.
Was having gastric bypass part of the Soto family legacy?
I don't know.
For her mom certainly didn't do her any favors, and since I had no say in the matter of how she was raised or disciplined or anything, there was nothing I could do about it but sit back and watch the train wreck as it unfolded.
Poor boy.
Yeah, and she's trying to tell everybody that it was a little angel and she had no problems with her, and you were already telling us that they were butting heads like two Rocky Mountain rams.
Yeah,
I believe that right there. I believe that they were butting heads with one another.
Oh yeah, that's normal with any sort of teenage girl, but especially with the extenuating circumstances on both sides, I'm sure it was absolute hell.
Yeah.
They got physical on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, I figure they did that again. But okay.
Yeah,
I
was on prescription medication. Because I remember she was on something zine, phenazine or something like that. It's a antihistamine to help you sleep. Because when I was having sleep problems, they gave me that, and it's one of those things. It's antihistamine, so it wired me instead of made me sleepy. But yeah, she was a 13-year-old having sleep disturbances, and so they had her on sleep medication. But I'm not saying it right. I know that's not the right word, but it was a zine, one of those. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what it is specifically, but yeah, I don't know.
Like an antihistamine always has a "ine" at the end of it, so it was one of those, and I think it started with a P.
I often played mediator between the two of them because I was the only one that could talk either of them down when they started going at it with each other.
Yeah, I know.
Where were the roommates when all this is going on?
Upstairs, doing their own thing.
That's it. It was hydroxine. I don't know where I got the P from.
Was all that screaming and yelling and crap going on?
Yeah,
I'm surprised
it's kind of, honestly, it wasn't that far out of place in that house. Was often given to yelling or loud crying.
I thought it was the one that Bubbles said, the P one. So I don't know. It's one of those ones. And I can't even do Benadryl. Benadryl wires me. So
outbursts, and it was given to yelling and screaming and coming down on people. It was happening a lot more and more often, which is why I kept trying to tell you, I think maybe your meds are becoming less effective. It seems like you're becoming more erratic and more unstable. It seemed like the more stable I became, the more unstable she became, like we switched places.
Well, I always told you she was a black hole to need.
Yeah.
Well, nothing to do about it now, but what I hate the worst is that she's sitting in a hospital having 3 meals a day, clean sheets, television, access to phone, reading, walking around free, taking a shower by herself, and you're sitting where you are.
I agree. I hate that too. I'm sure she's not still in the hospital, but I think Jenn needs to be held accountable for allowing this to happen.
I do think that if there's something that she can actually be held accountable for, they will find it.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know. I don't have faith in our justice system after the Gypsy Rose case.
Yeah, I don't either. And this is also very close to home to Casey Anthony. At least
Yeah.
how that went. But I don't know. I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Or for the worst.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting off scot-free or anything. But I don't know. I just, I think they might have, sometimes when they think they got their guy, they just don't go after the other. And it's the one that's less culpable. They don't go after that person sometimes.
Yeah, I think that he's absolutely going to get the DP though.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because in Florida, they even want to make it to where certain offenders can get that. So it's like they're not seeking that in this case for the images and abuse and stuff like that. But I think that's just so that they can really get him whenever they do the second trial because they have a lot of evidence on him. So.
Oh, Annie, that is really interesting. She says Benadryl wires her too, and she has fibromyalgia. Maybe. Yes, maybe. Okay.
My dad has fibromyalgia, but he takes Benadryl to go to sleep sometimes, so I don't know.
Oh, well, maybe not.
It's really bad for your brain, though.
Yeah, well, Benadryl it literally will make me want to jump out of my skin, especially if they give it through an IV, because I have migraines and I had pain issues and I was in the hospital a lot, and they would sometimes, after they would give the pain meds, they would push Benadryl behind it because it's supposed to help you not itch, because pain meds can make you itch. And so I would put on my thing that I was allergic to Benadryl. And I can't tell you how many arguments I've had with a nurse. You can't be allergic to Benadryl. Don't give me Benadryl. Just whatever. It's
not a good time. I have a bad reaction.
Be very angry. My anger level will go through the roof. It makes me very agitated. If you think I'm a mean, because I am a mean person when I'm in pain. If you think I'm mean now, don't give me Benadryl. So, yeah.
I guarantee her food's probably a lot better than mine.
Oh, I guarantee it's a lot of stuff that's better than yours.
Well, it'll all come out in the wash.
Yeah, well.
Hopefully.
A very, 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 very slim chance of doing anything about any of this, and I'm praying to God and asking for His help to make it possible, but.
Well, how about giving up the chivalrous part and lay some truthisms on?
What's that?
I said, quit being so chivalrous and protective of. Start laying some truth bombs on her.
Oh gosh!
It's.
Only Stephen Stern's mom would say that. I promise you. Only Stephen Stern's mom could say something like that. Yeah, they make me itch too. Pain medications make me itch horribly. So
yeah, it does that to me too.
I'm glad I don't have to take those anymore. I transitioned off of all my pain meds over to the medical herbal stuff, and I don't itch anymore. So
there's truth bombs there.
Yeah, maybe none as groundbreaking or bombastic as you might hope for, but there are some truths there, some ugly truths and some not so pretty truths, but I guess I reacted to everything the way I did because I wanted to shield her. I wanted to keep her from getting any blowback. But
you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have, because that left them only one person to lay everything on. That was you.
Yep. And, you know, I should have just done the correct thing from the get-go and let the chips fall where they may. But I couldn't stand the idea of losing.
It is crazy how they are flip-flopping. Bubbles says it's crazy how they flop from he's a liar, he lies about everything, into she lies about everything. I mean, who can they believe then?
I'm sure they both are probably known for untruths. I could be wrong, but I get that vibe.
Yeah, I get that vibe too.
Them both horribly like that, and I lost them both anyway, so it was pointless.
Yeah.
There was just so much acne and so much pain, so much shock and so much trauma. My mind.
Say acne.
I'm pretty sure he did. That was the first thing he said too. That's wild.
It's funny. Hey guys, if you could do me a favor and like this live, helps us go out into the algorithm, and it's just a free way to help my channel out, and it's really appreciated. He says the strangest things, I think.
He's a strange guy.
He is a strange guy.
Mind was just not.
And you know what? I like strange people. They fascinate me, but he's strange, creepy, and he does not fascinate me.
Strange is a very broad term. I like some strange, but he's on the far end of the spectrum that I want nothing to do with.
Yeah, he's got the strange creepiness to him that just makes me, his voice alone creeps me out. Even, I think, even if he hadn't done what he did, his voice is very, like, ill.
Yeah, he gives off bad vibes for sure.
If you met online, you know, and you were talking online and just texting, and then all of a sudden you decided to move to phone calls and you got that call with him, you would be like, oh.
He's also like very clearly a total loser and a mooch. So I really don't understand how multiple women were able to fall for that. I mean, everyone's different, I guess.
He must have looked like this. And I mean, I'm not saying that looks wonderful. I'm not saying that's the most attractive thing in the world, but it's not ugly. It's not what he looks like now.
Yeah, but then the lady that he was hooking up with, that was one of his, not employees, but one of his coworkers at Disney, that was only like a couple years ago, and he would have looked relatively the same as he does now. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
some women are just like okay with. They don't
losers.
Like, some people would rather be with a loser than be alone. Me, I'd rather be alone the rest of my life than be with another loser. So,
I mean, yeah, I mean, I've been there. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, I know. That's why I said another loser. I will not go with another loser. I am like firmly entrenched and no more. But he would have never. I don't know. Now that I think back to some of the losers. Why? But I don't think I would have ever chosen Stefan.
Yeah, you're not into the Tamagotchis and all this other anyway. I respect collecting. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I respect it too.
But him, I don't know. Just the fact that he wasn't paying for 90% of it and he was getting it from other people's money is my main issue, I guess.
And I feel like he was collecting it so that he could collect young girls or boys or whatever the young kids that he was trying to collect. So.
I think that might be part of it for sure.
Yeah.
It wasn't me anymore. I wasn't in control of myself anymore. I was doing things that I wouldn't do. I wasn't acting or thinking rationally. It was just panic and fear and.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
You know, Stefan, I can't help but get the feeling that none of this that was on the phone was a surprise to you.
She was aware that
that
had
sigh.
feelings towards me.
What?
No, I just said that sigh.
Yeah. Well, then why would she send her in there to sleep with you?
She used to joke about it, call it an electrocomplex. Used to joke and say, you better not leave me for my daughter when she's older.
Okay, but that is like the same it's, you know, Electra complex is like an odious complex. Oh, I lost her. Hold on. And
Sorry, I'm on my phone. I keep kicking myself by accidentally clicking the done button on here.
oh, it's okay. I didn't realize you were gone. So he's starting to talk about the complex that he believes Maddie had for him. But
Yeah. Laugh about it, and they used to both ogle over me and comment on me and talk about me together and giggle and talk about how nice I looked, and it was not an appropriate situation.
Oh my God.
No, it
Don't you
wasn't.
even fucking say that shit.
And,
There's
you know,
literal
always
proof.
had an
I'm
issue
sorry,
with
I didn't mean to
boundaries.
curse on your channel, but
no, it's okay.
Never respected any boundaries that
Sorry, I was on a different. I was looking up the complexes. Yeah, I mean, it's so disgusting. He's so disgusting, and he's trying to say that she had the complex where young girls get for their fathers, but these complexes, you know, where they fall in love with the mother, or the sons fall in love with the mother, and the daughters fall in love with the father. But this usually happens at a very young age, like. I think it's like between 3 and 5 or something, and it's like where they want to marry their father. But Maddie met him when she was much older. Like, wasn't she like 8 or 9 when she met him?
yeah, I believe so.
Or like 7. So she would have been well past that age.
Yeah, and it's just like,
oops, did I lose you?
oh no, sorry. It started playing again. I actually lost my train of thought.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No worries.
You know, he got in arguments on more than one occasion about the sleeping arrangement, so I, would beg her, please make her go sleep in her own room, and she said, no, it's easier this way for me to wake her up when she's near me, and it's like we didn't have any privacy, and just didn't have any space to ourselves, and she would suggest, well, maybe you should go sleep in bed instead, and it's like, it's like a twin bed, and I'm,
when he said that, it was like even worse than I thought. It was a twin bed that they were sleeping in together.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
I thought it was at least a double or something, but it's a freaking twin. That's so wrong.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I didn't even like sleeping in a twin with like my boyfriend in college. That's a nightmare. So I can't even imagine sleeping in a twin with my mother's boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I've always had like a queen size bed since I was a kid, and then I had to get a twin whenever I moved back in with my parents because I have such a small room up here, and I can barely fit in it myself. So it's like I can't imagine.
Yeah, I can't even.
Plus feet, and no. Why would I want to do that instead of sleeping in our king size bed?
Why not? Because then you could sleep in the king size bed and put Maddie in the middle. God, that's another thing. I can't believe that they would all sleep together in the king size bed and put Maddie in the middle.
No, absolutely not. That's wrong.
I should have broken up with her a long time ago and just distanced myself.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Should have, would have, could have. Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah, it seems to be my superpower. Useless superpower. Captain Hindsight.
Well, you certainly didn't appreciate it when I told you that.
No, I certainly didn't. Typical, kid trying to make their own way or have their own ideas and realizing only too late, how valuable their parents' advice really was.
Yeah. Well, this is a shit show that rivals a pigsty.
Yeah,
whatever that means.
Something that you recover from.
None of us will ever recover from this.
No, you don't recover from it, and Maddie doesn't come back from it either. How about that?
Ever.
1 minute remaining.
Just not recoverable. Okay, you got your 1 minute warning, and they're probably not going to give you a fourth run at this.
Yeah, someone's screaming in the background right now, too.
Okay, honey, I hear them. So, you going to try to call back tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll see if I can call back in the next couple of days. I probably got about $18, $19 left on the phone account, and I've got like 17 cents left in the commissary account.
Oh, so just
We'll try
beg.
to do something about
Got to cover his money right now, his money expenses at the end here.
I was watching another
Okay.
commentary.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was watching another commentary video about this earlier this morning, actually. And the guy's name is Gavin Fish. I've plugged him a couple times on my channel just because I feel like he does some pretty good coverage of this case. And he was also working on the Aubrey is Not Found case. And I think that's why I brought him up before. But have you ever seen Parks and Rec?
Parts, not a lot. Some of it, yes.
Okay, well, there's this character called John Ralphio, and he also has his sister, which is named Mona Lisa, and they're like trust fund babies, basically, and they always say, money, please, and he said that, and it just made me think, I was like, yeah, I totally agree. He just said there's kind of a comparison between them and Stefan when he's in these phone calls. He just constantly is like begging for money, but like in a discreet way, so he doesn't feel like an asshole. It's funny. I don't know.
Yeah, that is. I don't know those characters on there, so I can't really. But it sounds funny. Money, please.
When do you need to have the commissary replenished?
What?
When do you need to have the commissary replenished?
Whenever you're able to, I guess. I did get a pad of paper, though.
Nice.
You think of what?
He got a pad of paper.
Oh, okay.
I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in the next couple of days.
All right.
Okay, we love you too, honey. Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
So that was the most fiery one. And he's basically saying that he wasn't around when it happened. She was cold. She was somewhere else. He didn't hear anything going on. He doesn't know what happened, correct?
Ain't no way. But that does seem to be what he's saying, what he's claiming.
So if he didn't do it, Jenn did it?
It seems like that's what he's implying.
That's what I'm getting. Or is he saying one of the roommates? But were the roommates even home that night?
I believe the roommates were home. At least one of them, I think. But yeah, I think he's implying that Jenn did it, which I don't know how I feel, and I don't care to speculate too much on it, but I definitely think that even in the best case scenario, she doesn't seem like a great person.
No. Do you want to go on and listen to some more, or do you want to do more another night?
You go ahead and play like one more phone call maybe, and we'll listen through that and commentate on it a little bit, and then maybe we can pick it up another time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this one is from phone calls from prison. And is it phone calls from? Yeah, phone calls from prison. I'm not really sure which ones are the good ones on this one. So like I said, there's a lot of little phone calls. But I mean, they go for 13 minutes or so. So let's see what he has to say. This one was on, do I have the right one up? I don't have it up yet. This one was on 5/13/2024.
Use this call. This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hey. I've been trying to call. They've had us on lockdown so often. Every time I've asked them, we've been on a Code 5 lockdown.
Okay.
Which means I've been unable to call. I've been trying to call all weekend, too.
So you've been in lockdown all this time?
Off and on, yes. On the days that I've asked, we've happened to be on lockdown, which means either an incident has happened or they're just so understaffed that they have to lock everyone down. It's probably more to do with the staffing.
Okay. How you been?
That's an epidemic in all our prisons in the United States is understaffing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, you know, had the world's easiest birthday present, so.
Yeah. And then you didn't call, so I'm assuming because of changes that they prevented you from calling?
No, they were actually moving me around a lot, shuffling back and forth, so I was having to get my phone privileges jockeyed back and forth, which takes a little while. And then, like I said, the days that I was asking, we happened to be on lockdown on those days. So it's just been inconvenient.
Okay.
Very inconvenient timing. And then we were on lockdown all weekend. I wanted to call on Mom's birthday. I tried to call yesterday. I tried to call Saturday, and there's no go anytime. So, but I've been wanting to call. How have you been?
I'm trying to put this on speaker.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put this on speaker. Okay.
How have you been?
Come on, Dad, get it together.
Can you hear me?
Good. Can you hear us?
Yes. Is Mom there with you?
That technology.
Can you hear me?
What's that?
Can you hear me?
Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is Mom with you?
Hang on a second.
Okay.
I know, life's so hard
can you
for
hear
poor
me?
Stefan.
Yes.
Stephanie,
I can hear you. Yes, can you hear me?
I mean, I'm sure it's not easy in the prison, but
yeah, that's on
gotta
speaker.
think about why he's there.
Yeah.
Is Mom there?
Yes, Mom's with me now.
No, I guess you're right. It is not easy, but I don't feel sorry for him at all.
But it's kind of easier for him than a lot of
Birthday,
others
belated
because a
birthday,
lot of
Mom, and
people
happy.
don't have family to, put money on their books, their commissary. They don't have
Yeah.
a family to also call every 15 minutes. There's a lot of people that just are there and have to deal with it, and they're on their own.
Yeah. Well, eventually he'll probably be in that spot because, his family, you stay on that. I believe he's going to get the D penalty too. And you stay on that death
long
row
time.
forever. Yeah.
Belated Mother's Day.
But he'll be there with that Wade Wilson, and I'm sure that everyone will hate him just like they might even hate him more than they hate Wade.
Yeah. Florida. Yeah. I can really see them not taking too kindly to somebody that has committed the crimes that he did. And I have mixed feelings on, the DP, but, if anybody is to get it, if it has to exist, I don't think he's exactly the worst candidate. So
That's exactly how I feel. I have very mixed feelings, but if it's going to happen, I'm not tore up about him.
I'm not going to cry about it,
Because I always say, I think, I think when you do that, take a child's innocence like that, it's like you're taking their soul. So I believe they deserve to be in prison for life. And then not only did he take her soul, he took her life. So yes, he deserves something very drastic, in my opinion.
No, absolutely.
Sweetheart, I was so hoping to hear from you. I'm so glad I'm hearing from you now.
Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't able to call you all weekend. They had us on lockdown, so no one was able to do anything.
Were you expecting these charges?
No.
The murder charge.
Oh, well, we know you're not.
Okay, so you got blindsided by that.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not true. I never would have wanted her gone for any reason, so, premeditated first degree is kind of a dick punch.
Yeah.
Did he just say
I was
a
wondering
dick
if you had
punch?
any updates or anything.
Nope.
I think you did say the death punch.
Oh, oh my God. I can't believe you would even refer to that as a dick punch. That's, oh my God.
I can. He's such a weirdo.
Haven't heard a thing. Just, speculation that she's been
Hiding
put in an institution and hiding in an institution.
at her lawyer's request.
Yeah.
I mean, are you cooperating with police?
So this was back in February, March, April, May. So this was 3 months. Well, not even 3. Well, like 2.5 months. And so he was pretty unhappy that she was in an institution. A mother that lost her 13-year-old is in an institution. That's where I would be. I
I get it.
Yeah. So that's about the only thing Jenn's doing that I would be doing too. I would be fit. I don't even know. But I don't think I would let it. I definitely wouldn't be sending her up to sleep with him. So
No, she should have known at least a little bit of it.
Yeah.
About her participation in any of this stuff?
There's been no opportunity for me to cooperate with anything. As I understand, the police keep saying that I'm uncooperative, but they haven't asked me anything to cooperate with, so whatever that means.
So your attorney isn't approaching them and saying, my client would like to speak with you?
No, my attorneys are pretty much saying to keep my mouth shut until the trial starts.
Well, okay.
Okay. I don't know why they were going to wait till the trial, but that's their business, not mine.
They don't want anything to hurt my chances.
Yeah, understand. Okay.
Why?
Hey, what was Joey's last name?
Okay. All right.
So yeah, it's basically. Well, obviously, this confirms that they're artificially inflating everything up as high as they can possibly do it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the plan is there. If they're just trying to scare me into pleading down, or I don't know.
No, they're not.
Okay.
He's a mumbler, so I have to turn on the captions. I can't always understand what he's saying either.
Yeah, he doesn't fully open his mouth when he talks,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Seinfeld episode. Mumbler!
I know a couple of people like that, so.
I can be a mumbler at times too, so I have to be very careful because it's so annoying. It's very annoying. It's one of the most annoying things that people do, I think.
I won't disagree, but I do it too.
I do it all the time. I try not to, but I do it. And I know it's annoying. And it's really bad too, because mumblers, I'm a mumbler. And so it annoys me when people say what, and then I have to repeat myself. It kind of pisses me off.
I feel you.
Are you able to share the Saturday night before you left for Kissimmee? You were pretty upset about something. Did it have to do anything with Kissimmee and the events that took place the next couple of days?
No.
Okay.
No, I was just stressed out about money and job and everything like that.
Coincidence.
Some woman got on a YouTube thing and said that you weren't even at the party.
Party?
Yeah, her birthday party.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. I went up there Sunday evening and got there after she was done at her party.
Oh, okay.
And we were very...
I think your parents are starting to catch on to the lies, but pretending like they're not. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Happy that I was there. They were very happy that the three of us were together. It was shaping up to be a great week and a great visit. You know, there's no reason for anything to happen that happened.
Is there some explanation of I came up Wednesday morning, met you at the hotel early in the morning, and is there some explanation why you left and went where you went?
I was driving around.
I was looking at the stars.
Okay.
With Brian.
Understood you were driving around, but they know where you were driving around.
Yeah.
And we know.
Okay. I had wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming, but I couldn't find what I was looking for.
Okay.
And then I ended up just kind of driving around aimlessly.
All right.
Okay. I mean, you asked me to come up, and we hardly spent 35 minutes the entire time I was there throughout the entire day. And it's like, I wasn't sure why I was there. And then I was caught off guard by what happened later that afternoon, and obviously haven't seen you since.
What happened?
Yeah, well, I just felt like I needed an ally there.
Well, I wish you had come to me and talked to me about some stuff, and maybe we could have helped you out in some way, giving you some advice, but certainly.
Oh, this was when he left, when they went to stay at the hotel because their condo had been searched, and he went into his family's house, right?
Oh,
I think this is what they're talking
sounds like
about.
that. That sounds like that.
I was
For a
trying to
second, I
figure
thought he
out.
was. For a second, I thought he was just offering that regardless, but no, I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
That
I
makes a lot more
think
sense.
he left because I remember Jenn saying that he left and went driving in the middle of the night, and he must have, and then he went to his family's house or something like that. And I was like, that's weird that you would just leave, but yeah.
Under the extenuating circumstances, what was later discovered obviously couldn't help you any further than what had already taken place. So the most logical thing would be to have, face up to it and have a conversation.
He was out looking at the stars with Brian Koberger, just out driving. Just looking at the
Listen, I drive sometimes. I really do. And
do you shut your phone off? Just kidding.
No, I don't shut my phone off.
You leave it at home.
No, I don't do that. But yeah, okay, fair enough.
With the appropriate authorities or get an attorney or something, but be that as it may.
Yeah, well.
And I do look at the stars too.
Well, we got a copy of your birth certificate for Sheila Marino and for your case. We're trying to get hospital records from the TBI, but Sarasota Memorial says you were never a patient there, so that's ridiculous if we know you were.
Yeah. And were you able to find my Social Security card?
Yes.
Good. I presume it was probably in that mouse toy box with everything?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. No, I don't recall where it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't there. But
I don't remember if you had confirmed or not. Were you able to find my watch?
No, we weren't.
So you gonna ask for money? Come on.
Yeah.
So
there was no popcorn box.
Little
silver mouse
we already
toy.
had your Social Security card, so why did you think we need I already knew your number. I don't know why did you think we need to find the card?
Just in case I was going to need it in the future.
You're probably not going anywhere.
Well,
you're where you're going to be in the future, my friend. Whoops.
We have that.
How long I'm going to be here, or if or when I'll ever be released, or if you guys are going to be around at that point. But birth certificate, Social Security card might be things I'll need in that case.
Well, the penalty for the crimes you have been charged with carry a minimum 40-year sentence. So obviously we're going to be gone. Rick will be gone. We'll all be gone. I mean, we're sad about that, obviously.
Yeah, I do feel bad for the parents in this situation because, I mean, what stress this must be for them.
Because there won't be anybody here for you when you come out.
Yeah, and I'll be lucky if I have another 40 years left in me either, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everything sticks.
I wish there was a way that, you and I can have a conversation, all of us could have a conversation to understand what's taken place, how this came about, how you arrived here, because it would help us better understand the situation, because we're at a loss for understanding how all this came about. I mean, we're just totally baffled.
Well, I didn't start it.
Huh?
you didn't start it, but you participated in it, which is just as bad as not starting it. But that's for another day. Again, I don't.
Thank you, Dad. You said it. You said a mouthful, but I believe he started it, completed it, ended it, facilitated it, did it.
Details or anything. But,
Allegedly.
I mean, if you like schedule a visit with me or something,
All in
maybe,
my opinion.
maybe we can find some way to talk.
I don't know. I think we're always going to be recorded, so there won't be an opportunity to do that. Now, we have to make arrangements for you to sign off on a power of attorney so we can do something with this car.
Yeah.
And I would have to bring a document over. They won't even let me see you. I would just hand it to the classification officer. He would bring it in, you sign it, they would notarize it, give it back to me, and I would leave.
Okay. I think I just got the 1 minute warning.
Okay.
So yeah, give them whatever you need, and I'll sign whatever I need to sign. In the meantime, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days and we'll talk some more. If you wouldn't mind putting a little more money in my commissary as well.
Yes, he's asking for the money.
All right, I can't do much stuff because we are really, when I say dead ass broke, I mean dead ass broke, but I'll do what I can.
Okay, I appreciate it.
That could change, but right now, for the next 30 days, we are definitely in lockdown.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, all right.
Maybe
I'll try to get over there within the week to get that POA taken care of.
Okay, there's a 15-minute cooldown before I can call back. I'll see if I can call back again. If not, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay. All right, I love you. Bye.
15-minute cooldown. They have to wait in between.
Yeah, I think they're able to do 15-minute phone calls with 15-minute intervals in between phone calls.
It reminds me when he says the money. I've been watching. Do you ever watch Jumpsuit Pablo?
I have not.
He does this. It's called the kiosk, the money system, and he does the song "Meet Me at the Kiosk." And I just saw him the other day. He was dancing in these red flannel long johns, singing because he makes fun of Wade Wilson's calls all the time, and he sings "Meet Me at the Kiosk."
Oh.
The Kiosk Club, yes, it's very funny. I have a funny story about Jumpsuit Pablo. I want to invite him on the channel. I'm going to try to say it without laughing. I want to invite him on the channel, and so I tried to get his email, and I couldn't find it. All I could find was his Instagram. And sometimes when you contact larger creators on the socials, your messages get lost a lot easier than they do in the email. So I was looking for email. Like I wanted email. And so I said to Siri, I said, what is Jumpsuit Pablo's email? And an email popped up, and it was a weird name. It was a weird name, but Jumpsuit Pablo is a weird name. So I was just like, okay. So I type out this whole message about, I like to talk about prison reform and all this stuff. And, I included some of the prison lives that are in videos. And I also at the very end mentioned, like, I even had this one incident where I invited somebody on and they even faked their rap sheet. They said they were a prisoner and they faked their rap sheet. And, I just mentioned that at the very end, and because I thought he thought it would be funny. So, and then I sent it and I was like really nervous. And then I get a reply and, and the person's like, obviously it wasn't Jumpsuit Pablo. They were like, let me send this information on to my client, because I must have got a booking agent. Let me send this information on to my client and let me see what they say. And I was like, that's weird. He's got a booking. And I looked at the name closer, and it was like the equivalent to, I had sent it to an Instagram model that is not in this country and that talks about getting breast implants and that type of thing, and maybe dating for money and stuff like that.
There you go.
why did she reply? Like, why did they, like, I'm talking about prison reform and all this, and what I thought, well, maybe she likes to, like, true crime is a girl's thing. Maybe she likes it. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm still trying to find Jumpsuit Pablo's email.
Noted.
So that's what happens to me when I try to do something. I do weird shit.
That's relatable, though. I feel you.
Because, like, the name, when you look at it, is like Jugs, bougie
Jugs.
Jugs. I mean, it's just like crazy. It's just like the name itself should have. But I mean, the name Jumpsuit. It just seems like he would have had a funny email name. I don't know.
No, I get it, but yeah, Jugs paints a different picture for sure.
Yeah, bougie Jugs. It's a little like that. It's not
Bougie
quite
Jugs.
exact.
Oh, okay.
I don't want people looking it up, but it's about like that.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Oh, okay. Well, do you want to? I hope you want to do this again. So I had fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I had as much fun as you can have listening to phone calls like that.
Exactly.
But I did enjoy speaking to you about them.
Yeah, you make me laugh.
But yeah, no. I think that my takeaway today is that Stefan Stearns kind of sucks, and I believe very heavily in prison reform and prisoners' rights, so I'm not gonna sit here and wish any ill upon him while he's in prison, because there's already enough issues going on in there. But he does not deserve all of the commissary and all of the blessings that his family is so kindly giving him, is all I can say.
Exactly. But that's nice of you not to want to pile on hate towards somebody, because I mean, he's probably getting a lot of energy coming towards him. For me, I just really despise him. So I'm still in my despise phase for him.
No, I'm totally with you there. I'm just, since the things I talk about, I don't want to go on record wishing ill upon a
I get
prisoner,
it.
because I believe
Yeah.
that he deserves to have, every right as anybody else behind bars. That
And he
being
hasn't had
said,
his time yet, his day in court.
I'm not going to shed a tear over anything that happens to him. But, at the end of the day, you are innocent until proven guilty. But in my opinion, he doesn't look too innocent.
Agreed. So here is Alorah's podcast that she does with her mom, Amber. It's Into the Weeds podcast. I urge you to go over and check it out. They're a lot of fun. They're a mother-daughter duo. And you're also over on TikTok, right? Is that where
Yes,
you mainly are?
Yeah, I normally post more like myself. If I do something, it's on TikTok. It's just Alorah Flowers, as I have it up here on the screen.
I wanted to show you before we go to Alorah Flowers. There's this creator that I met over on Facebook. She covers the Gypsy Rose case too, and it's the Mom Drum official. She's from Australia, and you remind me of her. I feel like this is what I think you're going to look like when you're 46 years old. I think you two look so much alike.
Or have compassion. But he did give me the ability to crack a walnut with my hoo-ha.
That
Mood.
Let me find one where she's actually talking.
Don't tell me you haven't seen the Gypsies on the 60 Minutes shows. Like, it's everywhere. And if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about,
I feel like you look just like her. Am I right, you guys? Does anyone else see the resemblance?
Really? Well, thank you. She's absolutely beautiful. You said she was 47? Is that what you said?
Yeah, she just did something where she said she's 46.
That's a really good 46. Good on her.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun, and I think you two would get along really well.
Yeah, I'll have to check her out for sure. That's funny though. I normally get people say that I look like the girl from the Lorax, and I've also gotten Nellie from The Office.
Nellie from The Office.
She's the British one. She's only in like the later seasons.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm not saying I necessarily agree or disagree, but that's just normally what I get.
wait, what am I supposed to do here? I've been having to confirm everything lately. Select the two objects that are the same shape. Did I not select the right ones?
There we go. Just wanted to
Okay.
make sure you weren't a robot.
There you
Yeah, I haven't posted on here in a minute. I probably need to get back on that, but there I am.
You cracked me up the night that you came on alive looking like that. That was really funny. But I think you look just like her. I don't know. Maybe I think you do. So what do you guys think in chat? So anyway, I will put the link for Alorah down in the show notes as well. You're 46 and you don't look like that? Yeah. You don't
look very
46.
beautiful, mommy.
I wouldn't have put you at 46, so you
Yeah,
have
she looks pretty young.
Yeah, she has a youngness in her face. But you know what? I think all millennials and Gen Xers, I'm 54 too. So I think we're all aging and just differently than the boomers did because we are using skincare. We're using skincare, damn it.
Yeah.
And
the ones that don't, you can tell.
Yeah, we're using something other than Noxzema.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember Noxzema.
Okay. Thank you for being here, Alorah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It was, like I said, as good of a time as we could have listening to those phone calls.
Yeah. Maybe we can schedule. Well, I'm going to plan another one next week. So hopefully you'll want to join me.
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
think tomorrow your mom is doing something, Emily, something, if her internet works. I was thinking I wanted to do it even if her internet doesn't work. So maybe even if hers doesn't work, I could host it and have you on. I forget what the name, Emily
Pike, probably.
Pike. Yep. It was, I looked her up and it's very interesting. That case interests me. So
yes, I believe it's a native girl that was her life was taken.
Yes, I've been wanting to do indigenous crime because it's an epidemic especially for indigenous women. So yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and thank you everyone for watching.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, have you thought about whether you want to become a dragonfly? You heard me mention it earlier in the night. Do you know what I'm talking about even? Here, let me show you. And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really, really, really love to have you as a power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you. Yes, I would absolutely love to have you. I have the link to the dragonflies in the comments, and I will link it down below. And I think that's all I have for tonight. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you, Bubbles, Annie, Into the Weeds. Thank you, Alorah, for being here. Who else? Annie, have I missed anybody that came through? If I did, I'm so sorry. Thank you to everybody out there in the outer regions. Oh, I see F. Lee. I think I missed you, F. Lee. It's good to see you stopped through. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. If nobody's told you this today, And even if they have, I'm still going to tell you this. I love you guys so, so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart